Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to A Young Fire. My name is Tumi WMJ and thank you so much for joining me for today's video. A Young Fire is a channel for young people like you and me who are on fire for God, people who are passionate about purpose and of course enthusiastic about life and the future. If you believe you're one of those people, please do ensure that you hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell so you never get to miss out on a video that we post on this channel. If you're already part of the Fire Fam, I would like to say thank you so much for coming back, and I know some of you guys are so giving me the side eye right now. Everybody's just like, what's going on? Well, I hope that the title of this video gives you guys just a little bit more insight in terms of where I've been, what's been going on, like a young life update. I decided to turn what I was going through or what I was going through into a video so that you guys, just to let you guys in a little bit and for you to understand, we go through the motions. As people, we go through the motions, but the motions are not there they are not there as a defining activity for us. The emotions are there as something to go through and come back, you know. And you guys know how I am. I'm always the comeback guy. I'm always the guy who says you can always make a comeback no matter what has happened in your life, no matter what is going on. And without wasting any further time, you guys have been waiting for long. Let's get into today's video. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about mid-year fatigue. So mid-year fatigue is exactly how the name suggests. You know, it's fatigue that you get specifically in the middle of the year. You know, if you're an early riser like me and you started off the year like at a fast pace, you know, you were like running from the beginning of the year, then by the time it hits May, by the time it hits the end of April, beginning of May, you start getting slumps, you know, in your days. You start getting a little bit of fatigue. It's a bit controllable at this time, but when we get into June, you know, we get into July, it starts escalating and start getting really rife, you know. And if you don't know how to deal with it, if you don't know how to reprioritize your priorities and look at things a little bit more different, then it becomes even harder for you to do the things that you need to do, right? So I've seen mid-year fatigue happen to me. I've seen it happen to people around me. A lot of my colleagues actually have been saying, oh my God, we are so tired. That becomes like the common thread, you know. In every conversation that we have, people are feeling this sense of tiredness and this sense of, oh my God, what is going on? In every week, in every day, in every month, in every weekend, there's a little bit of fatigue that we carry over that we don't rest away. And when we don't rest that fatigue away, it hits us at the change of the season, because the seasons are changing. You know, it's becoming a bit colder, the nights are longer, the days are shorter, so it becomes a bit for people like me, it's already a challenge. So when you are now faced with this fatigue, you don't know what to do, you don't know how to bounce back, you don't know how to get into the groove of things again because of this thing, you know, this yoke you are feeling around your neck, you know. And how do you get over it? How do you ensure that you pick yourself up and you keep going, you know? Stay till the end of this video so that you can get to learn some of the things that I do personally and some of the things that I think you can do just to help you, you know, get out of that slump and to just rise back and, you know, keep going. Because at the end of the day, even though you don't have the same energy, you don't have the same energy, or you don't have the same motivation, you can still get stuff done. And that is why we are talking about this today. How are we going to deal with it? How are we going to make sure that it doesn't take away from us? And how are we going to overcome mid-year fatigue? So the first sign of media fatigue is when you are extremely exhausted all the time and you don't really have energy to do anything. The second thing is when you are very cranky. You snap easily. You might be a very patient person, but you find yourself not being patient. You snap at little things. You take people to task at things that you would have normally let slide. You are very irritable, and you're just not yourself. That's the second sign of media fatigue. The third sign of media fatigue is when you either binge or not eat. So sometimes you are eating a lot and you might even be eating the wrong thing, and this even adds on to you not having energy, or you feeling slumpy, or your energy levels or your sugar levels or whatever, or your sugar levels being down. So this also contributes to the fatigue, right? Or you're not eating at all. Some people, when they're stressed or when they're going through such things, they don't eat. They take out days and they take out time, and like they haven't been eating in 2 or 3 days, and they're not necessarily fasting, but they're just not putting in the effort to eat, and it slows their body down. It slows their energy down, because now they don't really have energy and their body is running on reserve, and it's not working for them. It's taking away from what their body should be using as a source of energy. The next sign of media fatigue is when you are not sleeping well. Your sleeping patterns have changed and they're just all over the place. You're not sleeping enough, so you're not resting, and it's like a ripple effect. If you don't sleep enough, you don't rest enough, your body is craving for food, it's craving for rest, it's craving for all of these things, and then your routine just gets messed up, and you are doing all of these things out of the norm. You get cranky and you are just not productive. So the main result, like media fatigue equals unproductivity. So when a lot of people go through media fatigue, what essentially is happening to them is that they are not productive. They are not able to do the things that they normally do the way that they can normally do them, which in turn results in them not being productive and them not giving the output that they would have normally given in a normal situation or normal circumstance, right? So for one to get through media fatigue is for one to center themselves. Like this is a very important time where you would just need to align things for yourself, gather yourself and just try as much as possible to be able to produce some kind of results, even though it's not at the optimum rate and optimum frequency that you would normally do, right? It's to take out time, to reprioritize your priorities. And this is so important because a lot of people deem the things that they do important. I'm the kind of person who says everything that I do is important. Of course, it varies at the level of importance, but everything that I do is important. If it wasn't important, I wouldn't even be wasting my time doing it, right? So when you are looking at the things that you are doing and looking at the importance of them, you need to rescale how these things are meant to be done and in the order that they need to be done. So for example, you look at the things that are important and you look at the things that are urgent. You look at the things that are important and urgent, and then you look at the things that are urgent but not important, and then you ask yourself, with the 20% of the energy that I have in my life right now, am I able to split it across everything that I need to do, to split it across my deliverables? Am I going to be able to gym, to go to do YouTube, to do all of the things that I need to do my studies, if I'm writing exams, if I'm doing assignments, or to have time for my relationships with my family, my friends, and my significant other? It's all of those things that you need to sit back just for 2 or 3 minutes and just ask yourself before you start investing yourself in activities that you can't really do at the time, right? So this is how you're going to kind of deal with this, because remember, at the time that you are, it's like a fight or flight kind of thing. So it's either you fight what you are faced with, or you flight. You just say, what, I'm not showing up. And that's not the kind of people we are. That's not who we are. We don't make commitments and not show up, but we can reprioritize. You can show up, but not right now, and those are the kind of things that are important. That is the kind of conversation you need to start having with yourself, so that you can you can produce the right fruits at the right time. Look at the things that are important, look at things that are urgent, look at the things that are both important and urgent, look at the things that are important but not urgent, as well as look at the things that are urgent but not important. You know, something can be urgent but it's not important. It doesn't fit at the end of the day. You know, you can go without it. So if you can go without something, if it's urgent but not important, you can just be like if something is important, if something is urgent but not important, you can legit go without it and just, you know, because the time that we are in is complex. You know, it's not like any other year where you could have had tons of time or even the freedom of the space, you know, to do whatever you need to do at whatever time you need to do. You know, you have to really step back and look at how you need to reprioritize some of the things that you need to do, so that you can get out of the slump, you know. And one thing I also want to remind you guys is that media fatigue doesn't last forever. It doesn't last forever, because at the end of the day, it's fatigue. Fatigue requires you to rest. So when you are allowing yourself this opportunity to do just a little bit less than you normally do, you know, you rest a little bit. You get some of that energy back. You know, it builds up, and before you know it, you are back to being your normal self. You are back to doing the things that you normally do, and you are able to like perform at like your best. And that is where we want you to be. You know, we want you to do your best. We want you to be productive. We want you to do the things that you know you can do at the speed that you can do them, at the rate, with the excellence, and you know, with that finesse that only you bring, you know. But if you don't give yourself time to rest and sometimes just sit back, you know, and just say, it has been a good 6 months, I just needed to sleep. It's okay. Like, it's honestly okay to just give yourself that mental break, to give yourself that physical break, to give yourself that psychological and emotional break. You know, to just say, you know what, it's not like I'm tapping out of the game. I'm not saying that I'm not going to be doing anything anymore. I'm not saying I'm going to be a bum, but I'm just going to decrease the volume. Like, decrease the volume, take some of the energy in. Like, we pumane man, like we bear hand, so that when you're going back into the next half of the year, you have the gusto, you've got like the motivation, your goals are realigned, and also like you just have that thing. You come back, you know, and you're just like, here, like, I'm back. Because if you look at how life is, if you are always running, you get to miss out on some of the things that you could have fixed, you know. I learned this when I was still a runner. I was a runner, guys. At one point in my life, I was a runner. So I learned, even in whether it's a short distance or a long distance run, you know. And when I'm talking short distance, I'm talking like your 10 to 5 kilometers or 3, like, you know, the short runs. I learned that even in those runs, there needs to be time where whether it's on a steep hill or when you're coming down, where you just need to just relax just a little bit, so that you can draw back the energy, so that the energy can kick back in. You still need to be able to take a break as and when required. So do ensure that you do that. It's something that I believe is important, and it even allows you time, you know, to look at your goals and say, okay, this is what I have planned to do from the first half of the year, and this is where I currently am, and going forward, this is what I would like to do. These are the kind of things that I would like to put a little bit more effort in. These are the kind of things that I didn't really get the chance to do, but I have the rest of the year to do them. You know, I have another opportunity to put in the work, you know, so that you don't just keep going aimlessly thinking that you are doing the thing that you are actually not doing. So it's important for me. I feel like it's something very important. It's something that we need to take our time to think about, to do, to learn, so that you can give yourself that opportunity to grow. I really hope that you really get a chance to do some of the things that we spoke about in this video, and just to, you know, recuperate from the media fatigue and see yourself going into the second half of the year refreshed, looking all nice, looking all fresh, and getting ready to tackle the next 6 months. And I really hope that you guys are going to stick around, because we are back. We have recovered from our little stint of media fatigue. Thank you so much for joining me for today's video. Do ensure that you click the subscribe button if you haven't done so, and also do follow me on all social media platforms at Tumi WMJ. Guys, do keep safe in these times. It is rough out in the streets, so try as much as possible to stay at home. Stay at home, do whatever you need to do from home. And if you're an essential worker, thank you so much for all that you are doing for South Africa, for the world, for your country, for your community, for everybody who is depending on you to do what you do best. Thank you so much. Till I see you guys next week.